So, you know that book, The 48 Laws of Power? The one that looks like a scary heavy brick on everyone's bookshelf? It was the first book that I read, and from there I started reading books, and that was like 6 years ago. And I'll be honest with you, when I started reading it, I felt a little bit weird. This book is basically a guide on how to be sneaky mastermind. It talks about things like hiding your intentions and crashing your enemies. I thought, do I really want to be this person? But the more I read, the more I realized this book isn't a guide on how to be evil. It's a guide on how the world actually works. Think of it like a map of a jungle. You can use the map to survive, or you can ignore it and get eaten by a tiger. I would rather not get eaten. Today I'm going to break down the biggest lessons I took from this book. I'm going to keep it simple, just real talk, and let's get into it. So, lesson number 1, this is probably the most famous one, and it's the first law: never outshine the master. I know it sounds like you're holding yourself back, right? Like, why can I be the best? But here's the thing: imagine you are at work. You have a boss and you are super smart and you have great ideas. One day you fix a huge problem that your boss has been trying to fix for months. You do it just like that in 5 minutes. Everyone claps for you. The big boss gives you a high five, but your actual boss, he's standing in the corner looking at you with a tight smile. He's not happy. Why? Because you made him look like he can't do his job. This is the danger. So the big takeaway is you can be smart, you can be successful, but you should never make the person above you feel dumb or threatened. If they feel threatened, they will use the power to crush you. Instead, let them take the credit sometimes. Make them feel like they are the genius and you are just learning from them. It sounds like you are being a pushover, but actually you are being smart. You are keeping your job safe. So ask yourself, are you trying to look good or are you trying to win? If you want to win, let the master look good. It will save you a lot of headaches. So, and the next one is law number 2, never put too much trust in friends and learn how to use enemies, basically. When I first read this, I thought, wow, this is called I have friends, I trust my friends, and everyone trusts their friends. But think about it. When you ask a friend for a job or to work with you on a project, what happens? They might say yes, but then they feel weird about it because now they're the boss or you're the boss. The friendship gets all weird and tangled up. You can't ask your friend to do something boring because you don't want to hurt their feelings. But an enemy or a rival, this is a different story. When you hire an enemy, they know they have to work twice as hard to prove themselves. They're not going to slack off. Plus, if you treat them well, people will look at you and say, wow, look at that. They are so powerful and kind, but even their enemies respect them. So the big takeaway is friends have expectations. Friends get their feelings hurt. Enemies or rivals have no expectations. You can be strictly business. Think of it like this. You're building a team. Do you want someone who will lie to you because they don't want to hurt your feelings? Or do you want someone who is honest because they're looking for a chance to beat you? At least you know where you stand with the enemy. Keep your friends close, but keep your business separate. Don't mix money and friendship. So this lesson is actually my favorite because it relieves stress. Law number 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Basically, this means sometimes you don't have to fight. It's okay to lose the argument right now. Imagine you're arguing with your spouse or your roommate about the dishes. You know you're right, but they keep yelling. If you yell back, you get a headache, nobody wins. What if instead you say, you know what, you're right, I'm wrong, I give up. Boom, the fight is over. They're confused, now they feel a little bit bad for yelling. They might even say, oh no, it's okay, I'm sorry. You just surrendered, but you actually won the peace. The big takeaway in life, we think we have to win every battle, but some battles aren't worth fighting. If you back down, people might think you are weak at first, but you are saving your energy. You're like a snake. A snake doesn't fight a lion. The snake hides, waits, and strikes only when it matters. Pick your battles. If you fight over everything, people get tired of you. If you only fight about the things that truly matter, everyone will listen when you actually speak up. So, next one. This is a huge trap we all fall into. And this is the law number 4. Always say less than necessary. I've been burned so many times with this. I know this is hard, and I like to talk, you like to talk, we all want to share our plans. When you get a new idea, let's say you're going to start a new business, what is the first thing you do? You tell everyone. You post it on social media, you call your mom, you tell your friends at dinner. But here's what happens. You tell everyone you're going to be a big YouTube star. Your friend says, oh cool, yeah. 2 months later, you only have like 3 videos. Now your friend asks, hey, what happened to being a YouTube star? You feel awkward, you feel like a failure, you have to explain yourself. If you had just kept your mouth shut, you wouldn't have that pressure. Plus, when you talk about your plans, you give away your secrets. People can steal your idea. So the big takeaway is, when you speak, you're putting your weakness on display. When you stay quiet, you are mysterious. People don't know what you are thinking. Be like a cat. A cat sits quietly, watches you, and then decides to move. A dog barks a lot, but you know exactly what a dog is going to do. Be a cat. Say less. Let your results do the talking later. Okay, last big lesson, and this one is the most important. Law number 5. So much depends on your reputation. Guard it with your life. What do people think about you? Do they think you're hardworking, you're lazy, you're funny, you're a liar? Once people decide what they think about you, it's super hard to change their mind. If you walk into a room and people already think you're a smart guy, then will believe anything you say. Simple as that. If you walk in and people think you're a lazy guy, even if you work super hard, they won't notice. The big takeaway is, you have to build a reputation on purpose. Maybe you want to be known as a reliable person. How do you do that? Just always be on time, always do what you say you will do it for a few months, and boom, that's your reputation. The book even says it's better to have bad reputation than no reputation. Because if you are known as a mean person, people are scared of you. They think twice before bothering you. At least you have a presence. But if you are a nice person, people walk all over you. So think about how you want people to describe you at a party. Write it down and then act like that person. Be that person. Okay, so I read this book and I told you all these laws, but you have to be careful. This book is like a knife. You can use a knife to chop vegetables for a healthy dinner, or you can use a knife to hurt someone. It's all about how you use it. I think the real secret to power isn't being evil. The real secret is understanding people. Once you know how people think and why they get jealous or angry, you can avoid those traps. Don't use these laws to be a bully. Use them to protect yourself. Use them to keep your job. Use them to keep your peace of mind. The most powerful person in the room is usually the one who doesn't need to tell you they're powerful. They are quiet, they are calm, they know what they're doing. So go out there, be smart, be kind when you can be, but don't be a pushover. Read the book if you want, but remember, you are the one in control of your life. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, it helps a lot with the algorithm gods, and subscribe if you want to hear more thoughts about me. I read a lot of books, so we can do this again. Thanks for hanging out. See you in the next one. Peace.